Welcome to the most beautiful day of the rest of your life. Here's just a quick thought. I see my YouTube channel becoming more of a health and fitness, or actually more like mental well-being, or overall physical and mental well-being, general well-being, I guess you could say. What I was thinking was, if you might be struggling with some anxiety, which I occasionally get real big heavy spurts of anxiety. I don't know where they come from. But like one thing I just did was I felt a little bit of anxiety coming on, and I was like, well, what can I do to switch that energy into something positive? So what I did was I ended up just going to the grocery store and thinking, look, I'm going to try to get some of the most healthy things that I could eat, really good things for me. So not only will they pay off later as I'm eating them and feeling better because I'm eating them, just the act of doing it. As soon as I walked in the grocery store, completely calmed all my anxiety and just felt good, like I was on the right path. So I guess that's all I'm saying is, just there's always a way to find some way to switch it around if you just try. And then overall, another thing I've noticed too is your diet and just food intake in general makes such a big difference on your emotional set. So if you're feeling crazy, check yourself, make sure you've eaten something today or recently, especially if you're very, very active. I know I get into something and then sometimes I just totally forget to eat and then I'm going nuts, but it's crazy how much that can affect your overall health. And then if you're balancing it better, I feel like it's aging you less. Every time that heavy stress is hitting or anxiety, I feel like that slowly probably kind of aging you a little. So it just goes back to the old term of self-love, to make yourself better for the world and everything else out there.
main street. I'm out, but I'm working my way over to the point here, and pretty stoked about having the GoPro out here.
Good morning. It's about 7:23. Heading out 118 here to go meet up with a guy I met yesterday named Dell, and then we're gonna head out to Mondo's to do some earlier morning surfing. I was hoping to get a little earlier start, but that's all right. I think they're supposed to pick up a little bit. I think the surf's in the 2 to 3 foot range, hopefully, potentially. Anyway, there we are.
Turn left onto Channel Islands Drive.
There's Ventura Pier right there behind me, and the take of the folks around this area, to me, it seems like a good mix of kind of refined folks and a lot of, there's some rougher people. I've seen a lot of homeless folks. I guess you could kind of call this area Ventura Harbor, and then you saw the sign Ventura State Beach as well. Cool vibe, kind of up into the hills. Just a quick thought on channeling more energy through your vessel. I'm kind of noticing, and I think I've always known that as you take away some of your comforts, you tend to just naturally grow, but you also kind of amplify all the energy, good and positive and negative energy. So it just seems like make sure that you take care of your mental state if you're willing to welcome in a lot of this potentially positive energy is really easy to digest and feels very like a steady wave, and it's always transcending, whereas I think negative energy kind of feels more spiky, and sometimes that's why it can knock you off that wave if you're not totally prepared mentally. And then I think the physical thing tends to feed the mental as well. I know this is a bit vague, but just wanted to mention that, and hope that you could maybe relate to that, or just spark some thoughts or some energy in yourself to know that it's all going to be okay if you are willing to understand that balance and just embrace whatever the universe is bringing your way. And thinking of it as just trying to make you grow, and definitely testing you to see if you're being true to yourself, and calling you out. And that's usually where I think a lot of the pain or negativity can come from, turning into pain. But it all seems to motivate and move forward as long as you're looking at it from that perspective. Pretty much just a positive state of mind can take you so far, but being open to knowing that it's not all going to be comfortable, you know. When it is, I feel like you get too comfortable, and then that's where everything just really starts to slow down. It's nice to embrace the particular moment of comfort, and you know, it's almost like it's zen, and the sun is just shining bright at that moment. The light is shining bright is what I kind of meant, but the sun's nice too, as it's blistering here in my face during this, but I thought the lighting might be good. Anyway. Great day surfing at Mondo's, about 6:15, heading back home. I'm going to swing by Best Buy and see if I can get a GoPro wrist mount so I can get some GoPro surfing footage for you. Anyway, check this out. This is the drive through the hills next to the ocean. Alright, so I'm down here at the Ventura Ventura Beach kind of area near the lifeguard station, right off of I think Thompson Boulevard, so it's right across the street. And just skating a little bit, waiting for the low tide to do some surfing. So just kind of kicking it on the longboard. Peace, my brethren. What a great day. I got to do my stand-up paddleboard at Mondo's. Man, it just felt good to be on the paddleboard in the mighty Pacific Ocean. Here's an idea. Why not write down what you think a perfect life is? Just write the whole thing out and then review it over the next few days. And as you review it, you may edit it, because you might, obviously you might feel different the next few days. But anyway, that point of it would just be the act of kind of writing it out. Okay, you decide, you more or less can, I think, live your life that way, just kind of doing what you think you really need to do, like one little tiny step at a time. If you just wrote it out and you worked each day, just one tiny step, or maybe days bigger steps, that when you can, when you're super motivated and the universe opens up those doors for you, move further. But the point being just that you're perpetually always slightly moving closer to it. So yeah, you just wrote it down and you're kind of using it as a guideline, but all of a sudden you start just doing it. You start thinking it and doing it. Maybe writing it down is great as just something to review. Make a little note in your phone, or whatever process you want to use to do it. It just seems like a good attitude to have towards growth in general, and kind of a map to go by. And if anything, to give you some self-reflection to see, hey, I really don't even want those things. Those aren't things that are leading towards anything that I really need. Or as you do, then you realize that sounded good but really wasn't good for my life. That thing's crazy for me personally. I have to watch that. So anyway, there's a little something.